So I remember carb cycling for the first time. I remember my very first high day, and I was like, all this oatmeal and peanut butter? There is no way this is gonna work. It's too easy. Turns out, I was dead wrong. Hey, Jim Schultz here for F-Cubed and LiveFcubed.com. And you guys know the drill by now, man. Fitness, finance, faith. Those are the 3 F's inside of the cube. And from a fitness angle, our main focus is fat loss. So if getting a little bit leaner and lighter, a little bit sleeker, a little bit sexier is of interest to you, then please consider subscribing. So this is the final video in our Carb Cycling Series. And I'll tell you guys, man, it works. When it comes to a sustainable weight loss diet or sustainable fat loss, just in general, it actually works really well. So we've hit Carb Cycling 101, we've hit Carb Cycling macros, and we've hit the real crowd pleaser, Carb Cycling for fat loss. So tonight, what we want to do, we want to bring this whole thing home. Bring it all together with the benefits of carb cycling. And there are 3 main ones that we want to hit. So the first benefit, high carb days. I mean, let's start this thing off by addressing the elephant in the room. And this is a kind elephant. This is a friendly elephant. Think Dumbo. And that's because carb cycling means you're gonna have low days. Carb cycling means you're going to have medium days. But carb cycling also means that you are going to get to have high days. Those glorious, calorie-laden, carb-soaked high days that I alluded to in my intro. Psychologically, having these a couple of times a week, man, it can really push you. It can really motivate you. I mean, they not only give you a physical break where you can kind of refuel, but they're gonna give you a mental break too, where you can recharge up top. And now on to the second benefit, which surprisingly is low carb days. That's right, you heard me. I didn't stutter. Low carb days are a benefit. Low carb days are an advantage. Those days when you're tired and you're hungry and all you want to do is curl up on the couch with a pint of ice cream and a sleeve of Oreos, those work in your favor. And that's because every one that you complete, every one that you dominate, every one that you just plain survive.
Climbing really steep vertical hills. Dude, are you okay?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty.
All right.
They're gonna bring a sense of accomplishment and a sense of self-reliance that is really unmatched anywhere else. And the end result is psychologically, you're gonna feel invincible. And that brings us to our third and final benefit, life. Of all the nutritional strategies out there, and there are many, carb cycling is gonna fit into your everyday life the best, which is why, not surprisingly, it is the star nutritional strategy of Full Throttle Fat Loss, my first digital course that launches later in June. And that's because it's amazing, man. You can schedule your high days when you have a birthday party coming up. You can schedule your high days when you have a wedding to attend. You can schedule your high days when you just have a work function, or maybe you just need some stuffed crust pizza in your life. We've all been there. Hey man, schedule for it, plan for it. Not only are you allowed to do this, but you are encouraged to do this. All the while, you're still making progress toward your goal. And then on one of those run-of-the-mill Tuesdays, it ain't no thing, man. You just button it up all business-like, and you knock out a low day and bring everything back into order. It's not like clean eating, where you can't go to dinner for fear that chicken and broccoli might not be on the menu. It's not like intermittent fasting, where you can't go to breakfast because it's not in your feeding window. And it's definitely not like keto, where you can't even go outside. There's just too much risk that you get hit by a stray carb.
I'm gonna hit this bread with a knife.
And you knock your whole system out of ketosis. So you've got Q's. Perfect. Because I've got some A's. Question number 1, really, Jim? Low days a benefit? That's a bit of a stretch, don't you think? Nah, man, I'm serious. It's a powerful thing to plow through a low day. Assuming, of course, you don't wither away into nothing. That would kind of backfire. Question number 2. So how high can I go on my high days? Are we pushing no limit here? Definitely not. This isn't a hand of Texas Hold'em. As we've talked about back in Carb Cycling 101, you want to go about 25% on your high days on average. I found that seems to be a pretty good amount of food, extra food that is, for most people. And lastly, question number 3, the most important question. All right, Jim, it's a high day. What are you going with? Pancakes or waffles? Now, we've actually already covered this, so clearly you have not seen our previous videos. But let's settle the score. Let's answer this age-old debate once and for all. The answer is waffles as a side dish to your pancakes. Now, for those of you guys that might want to go next level with your fat loss, kind of go the next step beyond what we talked about here today, hey, bounce on down to the description and scoop up the fat loss formula. If you're frustrated with your fat loss, or you feel like you just kind of lack a clear vision or structure, it will help give you a really nice foundation. It will help you set up your training, your cardio, and your nutrition so that you're no longer just floating through the wind hoping that what you're doing will work. It will give you a strategy to put in place that will give you a nice path forward. It'll help you set up your training, your cardio, and your nutrition so that you're not just floating through the wind hoping that what you're doing is going to work. And of course, it's totally free. Hey, thank you guys so much. I do not take your time or your attention lightly. I am so humbled that you spent your time with me here tonight. So if you liked the video, man, toss me that thumbs up. If you want to share it with a friend, that would be phenomenal. And of course, please consider subscribing. New videos every single week. But coming up next, we're gonna go a little potpourri style, because this is what YouTube thinks you'll enjoy.